Is this place where I'll be valued and supported?
A moment of silence for that question.
Hello, corporate buddies. Welcome back to the 9 to Thrive show. My name is Mary Grant and I'm here with...
Nana Ikia.
Okay, so I hope that you really enjoyed the episode we put out there last week. So today I'm also coming to give you another banger. So just like we introduced last week, we are just like your in person or
Online.
your online work besties. So if you have any intriguing question or any topic that you wish we could touch on, we'll gladly do that. Kindly put that in the comments.
Yes.
Thanks. Don't forget to also subscribe to our channel. Turn on your post notification, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also follow me on LinkedIn as Mary Grant Amwa.
And you can follow me also on LinkedIn as Nanikia Ampoma.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. Today, I really love this particular topic because it's something that we shy away from. We don't want to talk about it. We feel, can I really say this in a context and all that? So the topic is what employees or what employers don't want you to ask them. But in our minds, we think you should.
That's on period.
Yeah. Because sometimes you go for interviews or you are being asked something and you're like, hey, should I really ask this question? Should I ask?
Yeah.
You'll be asking your friends, should I have said
this?
and all that. So we are going to touch on a few things that employers do not want to hear or do not want you to ask. But you should ask.
Yes.
So what are some of the common red flags you notice in an interviewer's body language and the environment?
Yeah. So I haven't been in the corporate space for that long, but being in the corporate space and also being in the vocational space has taught me like a lot in business and in work altogether.
Okay.
And sometimes their body languages itself will tell you that, my dear, member, even the interview now by
Really?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Like sometimes they're very fidgety. And especially when maybe they ask you a question and you didn't fully understand and then you're answering the question. You're trying to answer the question. Their body language gives, I think, lady, we want a question. So it like they give you this weird look and like their general energy. I know like people say that it's Gen Zs that usually talk about the energies, but when we talk about energy, we talk about like just the vibe around them, their general body language, their looks, like eyes, how their mouth moves. Also, it just gives off. I say, if I say, well, now I've come to know my boss's body language. So immediately he gives you a task, and then you are maybe executing it, but the time frame he had wanted you to finish, you maybe like extended it or you've crossed that. Immediately he asks you and then you're like, I'm still working, and then he's like, hey, like that particular to say, it means that a lady will pass
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll say sometimes some of the red flags you should notice when you go for an interview is, one, you realize that it's so unplanned. I say, if you meet him, hey, I say, remember you interview. Hey, I said, hey, it's your baby. Hey, Pacho, hey, I see Obi wa have me Pacho Johnny. Like, so you don't know, like, oh, who is she? Like,
are you the one here for the interview?
Yeah, are you the one here for the interview? Oh, what is your name again? I sent you my CV. So, some people can just go to like
Yeah. And you even talking about that gives me like another opening on the fact that I sent my CV. So the interview should be like a conversation.
exactly. It should be something out of
Out
like
of
an
the CV.
extension of the CV. But like they'll make it look like you're not coming to tell them everything that you sent like weeks or months ago.
Because one interview I've been to, it was very smooth. Like I sent my CV, they read through it. So during the interview, it was out of the box. They're like, yes, you stated this, you stated that, but tell us something extra.
Exactly.
So let's say we are giving you this brand. What can you do on it? What's like the type of content you can? And I just felt like at that moment, it was out of the box for me. It was like very conversational. It made me feel the interview.
I feel you because technically that would be like a competency framework thing.
Yeah.
Like when you put together your CV, you've told us what you can do. Now let us see what you can. Okay, this is the brand. What can you do for a certain brand? What can you do for this? So that is moving you from what you've written to telling us in reality what you'll be able to do. So if I come for that interview and I should come and restate everything that I've said in the CV.
I schooled here in Nakafranto Senior High School,
and I've moved. I was moved from this place to this, and it's the same thing. I'm rattling to you.
Yeah,
there wouldn't be any impact here. So sometimes the unplanned interview bits really should tell you that, baby koso, and like when they keep stressing on certain phrases. I don't want to say the other part, but like they stress on certain things that they're like, I don't know boss. And sometimes they can say that, we are sure so be your time. We are sure. We are sure so be your time. Hey, I don't know who yeah, sure. Could you be able to come back? Oh, Minya who say, she said Nigeria didn't you can last week. Like you should know that.
Which means you will not even get time for yourself.
Yes, you won't be able to balance your way because if they keep stressing on, we are sure so be your time. If you say you're waiting me, you say sure what now the two of them and what the things are saying, we are sure. It's not matching.
It's not matching.
So now let's move to the things we wish we could really ask during an interview. To say like you've gone for an interview, the panelists are there, they've asked you questions. Please, do you have any question for us?
No, it's your no.
No, Senko fear. So
okay, so a question I let me put this in this context because now I've come to the part where I ask questions. But before I came to the knowledge of an interview should be question for question, answer for answer. That time I didn't really ask questions like what is the culture here? Time being your palm. See time no so mame. Asana my back. So what I say because sometimes people can tell you that here, that's Ghanaian thing we do around 5:30, 6:30, like 7. Hold on. So I say, also I try to tell me, am I closing at 7 or it's 5:30 or it's 6? Be on point. Like, customer team so. You get me? Don't be beating about the bush. And I feel like these are the kind of questions or the kind of conversations
you should have.
Yes, I should have. It also leads into like the perks of the job. What are you offering me? Like aside the salary and all that, what are you offering me that's out of the box that'll make me feel like this is a one-time deal? If I don't take it,
no. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So what do you think that like some questions are that you should have asked?
Look at my pose. I want to find out from you, madam. Do you have any management issues?
And are you sure they are going to tell you that?
Frankly speaking, these are some of the questions you should be asking. Are you sure you don't have any managerial problems? Are your managers aligned properly? Like, you see, those kind of questions, because you are really going to work with their managers.
Yeah.
Either a line manager or a superior or whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to work with such people. So I'll be happy to know that, madam, Go find a minimum wage, man. 100%.
Yeah.
Like everything's
Yeah.
okay.
Because sometimes, like your managers influence your work so much. And I don't think that we talk about this enough in Ghana.
Yeah.
You know, like Africans feel like immediately, I feel like we are just learning this corporate thing. Or we are not fully invested in some of our actions. Some of our actions and reactions and what goes into like the corporate world really, really. It's no o manager be me aba na be or ne area na ne kunu akọ few aba no the blood is heating or whatever. It's no oh yeah prim no amount that's goes. You get me? So sometimes I feel like these are some of the questions that you should ask. How is the culture like?
Yeah.
What is there like? How do your employees feel like mentally over there? Are they welcome?
Going to come there. You're going to touch on that. The next one is a friend is saying question that you really want to ask is what's the biggest challenge facing the team that I'm going to join?
Wow.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because like in the first place, why is there a vacancy? What did you do to the other person? Yeah. Or like why did the other person leave? So you may want to find out, you may not really ask directly like why did the person leave, but you may also want to find out what are the new improvements that you've made in the department I'll be joining? What are the things I should look forward to?
Yeah.
Like those things, because sometimes if you don't ask danger mupana like it's like you're going to like we need NG because that is the department you're going to work with like for the period that you're going to be with their company. So I feel that it's be prudent if you ask that, is there any improvement you've made? Are they facing any challenges? But trust me, I don't know if people really ask some of these questions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because as much as a company would feel bold enough to ask you the reason why you are leaving a company to join their company.
I should be able to
ask you.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
why
true.
There's this vacancy and why, this person left. Maybe you're not asking it in the way that we are asking it, but be very diplomatic around it.
Yeah.
Ask it in a way that they can actually answer your question.
Exactly.
And not make it feel like you are coming to attack them.
Interrogate them to find out something. I feel you on that. It's a very strong point. The other one is this place where I'll be valued and supported?
A moment of silence for that question. It's actually a very important question that we should ask during interviews, because you get there and you realize that you're not being supported. In last week's episode, I think there were some conversations we had that was concerning feeling valued and then supported. That's in terms of the training and then the guidance. Yeah. And that's something you should ask. How many times in a year does the team go for training? What are some of the plans or
some engagement, employee engagement, internal because what you are doing for your people to be happy and all that.
Yeah, and sometimes you as the interviewee could also like bring it forward. That way they see and then they know that you're actually thinking about the people you are going to join.
Yeah, it's like you're bringing something forward.
Yes, you're bringing something new.
They've not sort of.
Yeah,
or they don't value or like they've not seen the value.
Yeah,
in.
But girl, go where you are valued.
What if they lie to you?
That is the thing. That is the thing. Yeah. They are not like that.
The next question that my heart is in is, will I be stuck in this role forever?
But now you're executive for 10 years.
Then you're going to bring somebody
to come and be an officer over you.
And a manager over you. Like, you see those things. So I feel like when your people are valued and supported and you give them all the necessary resources to be who they want to be, I mean, this thing shouldn't be happening. Like, you see, there are some roles that when you're in, you feel like,
yeah.
Like, especially with the ranks. There are these international wide companies that they are ranks. Who said this is rank because we free her,
yeah.
But like there are some companies that barely like 2 ranks.
Yeah.
So I just say like where you are is definitely where you're going to be unless you move to another department or you move from the the company. So I think it's a very crucial question that we need to ask.
And just something brief I'd like to say is that sometimes people are going to be like, if you haven't grown, why should we give you that upper that senior role? And I like to say this to the companies: are you providing the resources for that person to grow out of that role that the person is currently in? What are the plans that you are putting in place?
They want you to crawl on you.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you can say that, you've been in this role for like 2 or 3 years. What are the plans you are putting across to grow out of that role? How can we support you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, because I'm sure people are going to be like, if you are not growing, if you are not like building up yourself, why should I promote
you? What have you done?
What are you also doing to support that person to grow out of that role and grow into another role?
That would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I love it. Another question or like some set of questions that we wish we could ask during interviews. Is it a family business?
Hey.
And when a man was like, is it a family business? Is the family working here?
Are the family members part of the board of directors?
So I think it's like a few questions we wish we could ask during interviews.
No, a friend is saying, "Will be family member, your HR."
And they be my queries in the mornings. Like, I mean, so some of these questions we really wish we can ask, because sometimes I say one landlord it's a fee. I don't know if you get it. Like one landlord it's a fee now. No, see a house, see a like those things.
Yes, and another question that I feel like you should ask during interviews is the workload too much?
Yeah.
How much is the workload?
Yeah, how much is your too much?
Yeah. How much is your too much as well?
Yeah.
You know. And it should, like, you should really be very vocal, you know, at like these type of questions. And it should be, like I said earlier, be very diplomatic, because some of these questions, it makes me a kind of try, because we want to be very blunt, we want to be like out there, open for you to understand, but be very diplomatic about it, you know, when you're asking some of these questions.
Yeah. The next one is what's the turnover rate like in this department?
Very important. And I said
2 weeks now. Flight drone. Like you need to find out.
Like people just come and go. Yeah. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
like
you need to
2 years. Almost miss some at 3, 4.
Yeah, it's true. It could also be that they are also laying people off and all that. So some of these things you need to check before, if possible. When you settle on the company you want to work with, you go on LinkedIn, try and get the staff that are working there. How is it working here and all that? Like try and make those background checks so that when you're going in, you go in with full chest. You feel me?
So this is like a 2-in-1 question.
Okay.
Because I feel like we should combine it. So the first one is, what is the communication style of the manager? And then in that, what's the communication style for the team that I'm joining? Do I have to sit in meetings all day and not have the time to do my job? Or it can just be an SMS or WhatsApp. You know, some meetings are like an email.
I know, right?
You sit in a meeting that's like 1 hour and it could have just been an email.
I know, right? Like, you can have a whole meeting, like in a week, you can have like 4 meetings. How can you be productive with such an environment? So some of these questions you really have to ask. I think the last one we've already touched on it. Why did the staff occupying the role leave?
Very important. So they should tell you why you tell them why you are leaving your organization.
Yeah.
So they should tell you why the person who was there left.
Whether on a good note or in a free mood.
Be very strategic. Be very strategic.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've exhausted all the questions.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, on the topic, what employers do not want you to ask, but we think you should, because we say what you're thinking. You may not really be able to say it, but
we will say it for you.
So catch you on the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and also share. And don't forget to also turn on your post notification. Bye.
Toodles.